Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me for another office hours training. I am Crystal L. Gunn, your financial strategist and small business advisor. And the part I love the most about being a strategist is helping you have some aha moments, those self-discovery moments, helping you see what no longer serves you so that you can release it in order to thrive. All that helps with the breakthroughs. That's where you start to shift. That's where the magic happens, be it on your personal side or in your overall business. So it's Wednesday. So let's talk budget. And I get so many calls and talk to so many people when I do workshops, and I hear these statements all the time. I make too much money to dot, 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 and fill in the blank because it's different for everybody. Or I bring in enough money, but I just can't seem to dot, 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 right? Or I can pay all my bills, but I can't dot, dot, dot. Or, oh, I have a budget, but dot, dot, dot. And typically when I ask them to show me their budget or we start to talk about their budget, they're only tracking expenses. So they're making sure that all of their bills are being paid, but that's it. And then that's when they start to live life. And so it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how much money your business makes. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business. If you don't have an efficient and effective budget, or what I call a financial system of success, it's nearly impossible to be intentional with your money, meet your financial goals, and live the life you desire and deserve. And I always say deserve because most people desire less than they truly deserve because we've been conditioned over time to take less and be happy. So when people hear the word budget, they typically think restrictions, stress, sacrifice, oh, it's too hard. And can a budget be all of these things? Absolutely. But that budget is going to show you the truth. And the truth may be hard. The truth may be there's some things that you just can't do right now. But on a positive note, some think awareness, goals, and money management. And when you look at it as a tool, as opposed to a task or a thing that's a sacrifice, the shift starts to happen. There may be things that you can't do right now, but with an efficient and effective planning, you will be able to live the life you desire and deserve. Right. And so if you look up the word budget, you will see definitions like an estimate of income and expenditure for a set period of time. Or you may see a budget is a plan where you write down to decide how you will spend your money each month. And it helps you to make sure that you will have enough money every single month. Or a plan to show you how much money a person or organization will earn and how much they will need or be able to spend. So these definitions are good, but they're only one side of the coin. They are mostly designed to ensure you have enough money to spend for a particular set amount of time, and it's usually a short amount of time when dealing with personal budgets. Business budgets are for longer periods of time and typically like for a year or program specific. So if a business has a mentoring program and the mentoring program is for 6 months, a business may have a budget specific for that mentoring program, which is then part of the overall company budget. But back to personal budgets. Typically, when people say they have a budget, they are tracking their expenses only. So they're not tracking the other things that they want to accomplish in life. They're not tracking the other things that they want to do in life. They're not even tracking those things that aren't attached to a bill. So if we didn't live in this paperless society and we were still getting bills in the mail. If it's not a bill, they're typically not tracking it, right? So when you think about groceries, shopping, entertainment, because those don't come in bill form, they're not tracking it. When you're building an efficient and effective budget or that financial system of success, you're not tracking your expenses. So you're not going back to look at, oh God, what did I spend this month? Right? You're not tracking, you're preparing. You're assigning every dollar you own a job for from today forward, right? So we looked back to see where your bills are. What are your bills? So how much is your rent or your house note? How much is your car note? How much do you spend on gas? How much do you spend on groceries? How much do you spend on entertainment? What's the cell phone? What's the streaming? We look back in order to see what these expenses are so that we can plan for them in the future. But then we have to go to what do you want and how do you want to live your life in order to also plan for the future, right? So that becomes the other side of the coin. So again, most people typically when they say they have a budget, they're tracking just the expenses and then they're trying to live life after that. But they're not being intentional with the rest of the income after the expenses. Again, one side of that coin. To have an efficient and effective budget or a financial system of success, you must also have the other side of that coin. And the side of the coin that deals with how you want to live your life for the rest of your life. Without knowing that, you can't plan for it. Without planning for it, you most certainly won't have it. An efficient and effective budget allows you to plan for your monthly expenses, all of them, not just the bills, right? So the things like groceries, gas for your car, entertainment, date nights, and even self-care. And when I say self-care, I'm not talking about maintenance. I'm not talking about going to get your hair done or cut or manicure and pedicure. I'm talking about the other things. So personal coaching, the gym membership, you might need massage therapy, Reiki massages, self care to help you get through this thing called life, right? It also allows you to plan for how you would like to live the rest of your life. So there are line item allocations for travel, retirement, savings, legacy building, and so much more. Plus, there are line item allocations for the things that you may not think about, like life insurance outside of work. Because if you only got life insurance inside of work, that don't count, but estate planning and other type of investing. I have a client who said to me, Crystal, I've never done a budget like this. This budget actually encourages and empowers me to live life. This is what an efficient and effective budget is. This is a financial system of success. It incorporates both sides of the coin, allowing you to be intentional with your money so that you live the life you desire and deserve, and not the one that you just get after paying bills. So, you probably can guess it. What is my favorite thing for today? Again, this household budget. Download it. The link is in the description, right? I don't care how much money you make, you cannot be effective and operate intentionally with your money without having a plan for it. Most people are walking around without a plan for their money. Most people are not even reviewing it. I have a new client and we did our first session last week. And so we'll follow back up for our second session next week. But in it, there were expenses in her bank account that was it was the same thing hitting over and over and over and over again, sometimes 4 and 5 times a day. And she had no idea what it was. But when, and so this was from looking at the previous 2 months, and it was, $197 one month, a little over $200 the other month, that she didn't know what those expenses were. But it told me a few things. It told me, one, she's not even looking at her bank statements, right? Because she had no idea. She's not even looking at her bank statements. The second thing it told me was that she didn't have an efficient and effective budget. She wound up not having a budget at all, but she didn't have an efficient and effective budget, because an efficient and effective budget, every dollar you earn has a job. So the money sitting in those accounts will have a job. And if it's $100 or $200 missing, you're going to know, right? And then the third thing it showed me was that we're not being intentional with our money. That that she isn't being intentional with her money. That as long as it's money in the account, she's good, she's fine, and she can do what she needs to do, and she just keeps it moving. But again, that not being intentional allows you, or doesn't allow you, to live the life that you want. And one, literally, she sent me a text, and let me see if I can find it. And she said, um, "Hey, beautiful." And then this in all caps: "I need financial literacy. That's all. That's the text. I'm done being broke." And then she sent the next text that said, "I'm sick of this shit," with laugh emojis. "Help me." Whew, I needed this. And she needed to say it out loud. Like, she said it in a text, but she needed to say it. She needed to express it, that she couldn't figure it out by herself. She needed help. Basically, is she needed the help. And she made a decision. She got mad. Like, it was all caps, and she was laughing in it, but it was still all caps, because she's sick and tired of being sick and tired. And like she said, she's tired of being broke. Now, is she broke? She's not broke. But in her mind, she's broke because she's not being able to do all of the things that she wants to do. Why? Because we're not being intentional with our money, right? So we all know life is about the journey. It's the next steps. This was part of her journey. She had to get to this point, and everybody gets to this point at a different time, right? That trigger that gets you to want to do this thing, to move, to do something different. The trigger is different for everybody, right? But the trigger happened. And that's part of the journey. And everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey and assignments on it and lessons on it. Everybody's journey is different. So you absolutely cannot compare someone else's journey to yours, or yours to someone else's. Everybody's journey is different. And it's the lessons and the journey is what's so important. Not the destination. The journey is what's so important, because that's where the lessons, the aha moments, the magic, all of that, the shift happens in the journey. Part of the journey is doing the work. That's like a huge part of the journey, is doing the work. So what's the work that you're going to do now? Download the household budget worksheet if you have not done so. I can't imagine that you're here again and you still haven't downloaded the household budget. If you haven't already completed it, go back, watch the past episodes on budgeting, and complete the budget worksheet. Once you're done with that, any money that's remaining, assign those remaining jobs, those remaining dollars a job, and then set up your bank accounts to reflect how you need to separate your money for success, and then set up those automations. Again, go back and watch previous episodes. I've talked about this thing. And then lastly, if you need help, y'all, stop playing and get the help and the guidance that you need. It doesn't have to be me, but it needs to be somebody. Remember, when you're standing in the middle of the thing, be it your business, be it a fire, be it, and when I say fire, I don't mean a literal fire. I mean, a fire going on around you, or a storm. When you're standing in the middle of it, you can't always see yourself. You can't always see the way out of it, right? And when you're standing in the middle of it, you're trying to survive. And so you can't even think about how to operate outside of survival mode, right? Because you're trying to do whatever it is you need to do to survive. So you're trying to put out this fire, you're trying to calm this storm right now, and you can't see this whole big picture. So again, if not me, somebody. If you need help, get it. Stop sitting in the same place, thinking and wanting something different, but not going out to get get the assistance that you need to have something different. I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get on my soapbox today. But if you need help, get the help. You can schedule with me a checkup. You can schedule with me to determine if you want to do financial coaching, but you have to start talking about it. I did a workshop last Saturday, and after the workshop, one of the ladies came over to my table because I had a vendor table. She came over to the table, and it was one of those things. She was like, I make enough money. She was like, but I just can't figure out how to get ahead. And so we literally actually have an appointment today to talk about financial coaching and what that looks like, because we talked a little bit about it there, but it was other people wanting to come up and talk to me. So we talked a little bit about it today, but we're talking about it. I'm sorry, we talked a little bit about it at the workshop, but we're going to talk about it and what that whole process looks like today, because she finding, and this is the third workshop that she's come to, right? And so it was just today, that this past Saturday, that she actually came up and said, you know what, I just need help, right? So this was the third workshop that she'd been to, but she finally just decided, I can't figure this out. I'm taking what I'm getting from these workshops, but I still can't figure this thing out. She can't figure it out is because she's standing in the middle of it, right? She's standing in the middle of it. So if this information has been helpful, please subscribe to my channel and be sure to turn notifications on so you don't miss a training. Also, share this with somebody. You never know who you're sitting next to. You never know who needs a thing, right? You just never know. Be a blessing to somebody else. You don't have to tell them about your financial situation. You don't have to tell them anything. Do an email and share with 4, 5, 6 different people. You know what I mean? But share the information. Not for me, right? Not for me, but so that you could be a blessing for somebody else, right? Also, if you are in need of personal or business strategy, let's talk about it, right? Don't continue to be in the same place 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years from now, when you have the time right now to say, you know what, I need to do something different. Make a decision and do it. You can look below in the description to see all of the links to all of the things, how to get in touch with me, whatever it is. Go ahead and do that. And just always remember, always, 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 I say it every single time, give yourself some grace. You don't know why you operate the way that you operate. You don't know how you got here. You're standing in the middle of a storm. You don't know the things to do, the things to operate. Listen, if your car broke down today, unless you're a mechanic, you wouldn't know how to fix it, but you will go call a mechanic, right? If you got desperately ill, you wouldn't necessarily know how to fix it, but you would go to a doctor, a holistic doctor, in order to get some help. So if your finances are off and you don't know how to fix it, what are we doing? Right? But always give yourself some grace, because you don't know how you got there, but get the help that you need. Keep striving. Never give up on you. And invest in you is the best investment that you will make. Right? It's the best investment that you will make. So that is my time for today. I thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Peace. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity. Thank you again, and I will see you